摂取の信仰、常に照合したも。The light of compassion that grasps us, illumines, and protects us always. From the Shoshin Nembutsuge, written by Shinran Shonin. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Obon season's greetings. Obon, within our North American Shin temples, has become characterized as a joyful gathering in which people from all walks of life, race, and beliefs even come together to enjoy the food, dancing, and festive air. It has become an annual tradition for many, but due to the coronavirus pandemic this year, leaves a void in the summer weekends. On a brighter note, however, Bon dance enthusiasts worldwide are making the most out of the current situation, and virtual online Bon dance events are taking place. Now, let us think about the religious or spiritual aspect of Obon. In Japan, Obon has a whole different ambiance in which it is also a solemn affair, paying respect to one's ancestors and loved ones who have passed. Although Obon is not an official national holiday, it is said to be just as important as New Year's. Majority of Japanese companies even give employees days off during Obon. It is a summer holiday that is marked by families packing their vacation bags and sitting in overly crowded bullet trains, taking a full flight, or even sitting in hours of traffic to return to their hometown for family get-togethers and visiting the family grave. The general popular folk belief is that Obon is when ancestors come back to this earthly world for a visit before returning to the spirit world, as it is marked here in Kyoto by the Gozan no Okuribi, that is commonly known as the Daimonji Festival. Gozan no Okuribi, which roughly translates as the send-off fire of the 5 mountains, is held each year on the evening of August 16th, signifying the close of the Obon season. Bonfires are created using strips of wood known as gomagi that is used for ritual burning or prayer. The bonfires, varying from 53 to as many as 108 spots, are set up along the base of 6 mountains in Kyoto City, forming kanji characters and symbolic images. The kanji characters consist of a feminine and masculine style of the character, dai, which means great or large. 2 hilltops, each with the characters myo and ho, which myoho as a pair refers to the wondrous law or teaching of the Buddha Dharma. One in the shape of a boat, and another in the shape of a torii, or Shinto shrine gate. They are lit in order, beginning in the eastern hills and closing with the torii that is located in the west. Though the exact origins of the festival are unclear, some have said that the ritual began as part of a Buddhist ceremony in as early as the 8th century, while another legend has it that it began during the Muromachi period, some 600 years ago, during the reign of Shogun Ashikaga Yoshimasa and the societal spread of Buddhism. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, however, to prevent spectators from gathering and further spreading the coronavirus, Daimonji this year will be very dimly lit, made with only 1 or 2 bonfires for the younger bonfire workers to learn the ropes and carry on the tradition. Now, let us think about the significance of Obon in the Jodo Shinshu tradition. Upon realizing Shinjin awakening and entrusting in the working of Amida Buddha's primal vow, we are assured that we will immediately be born in the Pure Land and attain Buddhahood, returning to this delusional world to guide other beings to awakening. Therefore, it is understood that our ancestors too become Buddhas and do not visit us as spirits only during the Obon season, but rather are always with us. And so Obon is a time of reflection, reflecting on our attitude of gratitude. Placing our hands together in gassho and encircled by the onenju as we recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, in gratitude for our ancestors who give us the opportunity to receive the Dharma and for the constant working of Amida Buddha's infinite wisdom and compassion, which assures our birth in the Pure Land. Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion is often likened to the unconditional love of a mother for her child. My son, who will be turning 1 later this month, constantly enriches my life. A few weeks ago, since the stay-at-home request by the Japanese government was lifted, my husband suggested that we take our son out. With the weather being pleasant, we decided to go for a walk. Cars were passing by as we were walking on the sidewalk. We thought nothing of it. And my husband, who had been carrying our son, noticed that all of a sudden his grip had suddenly tightened as he cried in fear. It hadn't dawned on my husband and I until then that he had never seen any cars in person or pretty much everything else. Things that we had come to overlook and even disregard had all been new to him. With his growing curiosity and becoming more and more aware of his surroundings, he was filled with uncertainty. Quickly looking over at me with tear-filled eyes, I reached over to carry him. As I held him tightly and explained to him what the things we were seeing were, he quickly calmed down. Perhaps now it was a feeling of certainty, knowing as well as trusting that he was safe. I would like to share a quote that I have on my work desk. It goes, "When a baby is thrown in the air, they laugh because they know you will catch them. That's trust. The baby is confident that he or she would not fall to the ground and get hurt. Now, if the baby were uncertain of what would happen, it would just be an absolutely frightening experience. The world we live in is a smorgasbord full of uncertainties. For example, this coronavirus pandemic that we are all going through. There is a lot of uncertainty. But let us keep in mind the certainty that we are all interconnected with all other lives. As the teaching expresses, how one's life is sustained by and interconnected with all other living beings. Because we are interconnected, we wear masks and maintain physical distancing to do our part in trying to prevent the virus from spreading. And though we may miss each other's physical presence at the moment, through the resources we have today, such as the internet, we are able to stay connected. In life, one thing is for certain, and that is the suffering of aging, illness, and death. Regardless of age, race, gender, physical appearance, national origin, wealth, intelligence, and so forth, it is without a doubt that we are all subject to the suffering of aging, illness, and death. However, Shinran Shonin teaches us that through the working of Amida Buddha, it is certain that we will all be born in the Pure Land. And so, amidst this hectic world of anxiety and uncertainties that we are living in today, as we all grapple with the unprecedented impact of the coronavirus pandemic on every aspect of our lives, let us take this Obon season to slow down, reflect, and give thanks to those who have gone before us, who have become the influence for for us in receiving the Buddha's teaching. As we maintain physical distancing, in receiving the teaching and saying the Nembutsu, let us sense our spiritual connection with those who have gone before us and those to follow by being mindful and responsible. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.